Rachel Zegler has taken a drastic shift in the tone that she's taking with the fan base. And it seems like they had to put her through some pretty intense media training boot camp over at Disney. It's time to lock in because the release date for Snow White is March 21st. We have very little time left to win back some goodwill with the audience. And unfortunately, it seems like from these responses, it's too little too late for Rachel.
It was too little too late a year ago.
I mean, it already was, but she's really just hammering it home and making an attempt to play nice with us. And you could even call it pandering. It's hard to tell. This was in a recent interview that she did with Vogue Mexico, and it was translated from Spanish to English. So if it doesn't make perfect sense, that's why. I want to start off by looking at the wording of the Variety piece about this, because it was very deceptive and so subtle, the way that they do it. So they say, the Snow White remake has been a particular point of contention in some circles due to Rachel Zegler's Colombian heritage. Now, the second sentence completely disproves that argument, saying the outrage came to a head when she called the 1937 original Snow White dated, featuring a prince that, quote, literally stalks Snow White. So was it a controversy about her being brown, or was it a controversy about her being a rude bitch?
Yeah, not including weird, and then acknowledging the prince as a stalker, and not acknowledging that those are different issues than the fact that she was cast, and a lot of people had problems with the casting, is disingenuous, because they were all things that mattered in the context of the story.
Not that the race swap hasn't come up in conversation, but most of the discourse about Rachel Zegler is about her personality. Truly, she has a personality problem. And I am not a fan of their decision to race swap Snow White, especially like given the description of this character as having skin white as snow. It's very clear that you should have chosen a white actress, but aside from that issue, we could have moved past that so easily.
Look, and a lot of the people, the people online were the ones who are looking to farm clicks were saying Snow Brown and using that as a way to shock you into reading their tweet when talking about this. But the thing is her quotes are far more of an indictment of this than anything else. The interviews at D23 or whatever event it was, where her and Gal Gadot just went off on this stuff, and Gal Gadot, she got left free and clear. Nobody cared that she started it. She kind of started
Rachel
all
Zegler's
this
like
stuff,
pointing the finger, like she started it.
And nobody. The thing is, Gal Gadot had years of goodwill built up, so she got out of this scot free.
I just always have my mind blown by how blatantly they're using like the race swap as a shield for her criticism. Even now, like, it's less than a month until this movie comes out and you still haven't dropped it. But anyway, I should get to what Rachel Zegler said. She now interprets the controversies as an overprotective reaction to a beloved Disney classic. She said, I interpret people's sentiments towards this film as passion. What an honor to be a part of something that people feel so passionately about.
Okay, here's the thing.
We're not always going to agree with everyone who surrounds us, and all we can do is our best. I understand that the conversation comes from the community not wanting to be seen as a monolith, but the reality of being Latino and working in this industry is that we try to represent the entire diaspora. I know where I've been. I represent it in my narrative, and I carry it in my heart every day. No one can ever tell me that it's not a part of me. And she said on the Variety Actors on Actors appearance, also at the end of 2024, we need to love them in the right direction, referring to the angry members of the fan base. At the end of the day, I have a job to do that I'm really excited to do. I get to be a Latina princess. Because that's the main focus here, is being a Latina princess.
The thing is, guys, the thing is that it's too little too late for all of this. It would help I feel like some of these crisis management firms and these people that are giving her advice on how to, the media training could do better to find a way to phrase this in her own words, because none of it sounds like how a human being actually speaks. The reason why it was so authentic when Henry Cavill said something very similar is because he was in the middle of a spoken interview off the cuff, and they hit him with one of those gotcha questions. You know the ones I'm talking about. The ones that get used to ruin just about every movie that comes out with, like, so what do you think about the representation in this film? It's over. From the point the interviewer asks that question, any answer they give is bad because they didn't bring the question up. The interviewer did. But it's going to make it seem like this person got on their soapbox and said something. And what the lady said, if I remember correctly, during the Witcher promo said, what do you think about those toxic fans there? And he's like, well, I don't think they're toxic. I think that they're passionate. But the thing is Henry Cavill had, again, just like Gal Gadot, years of goodwill built up. People knew that he was a fan of the franchise before the show came out, that he played the games. They knew that he's a geek like them, and Henry Cavill has a lot of goodwill built up with audiences. Hence the reason you're now seeing everybody fan casting him as James Bond. Rachel Zegler doesn't have that goodwill built up with people, so phrasing like this a month out from a movie that's been part of a 2-year shit show just comes off as disingenuous. Now, if she actually believed this, I feel bad for her. Like, if she's actually had a change of heart, I would actually feel bad.
Because nobody's going to buy it.
But
now.
Nobody's going to buy it. And that sucks. Like, and I know it would be more beneficial for me to start, like, ranting right now about how awful she is. But I can't know what's in her heart. I can't know if she's changed her mind. I do
Wouldn't
know
want
that
to be her right now.
I do know that the movie is projected to open from $63 to $70 million domestically. If you want an idea of where that sits in the pecking order, at the high end, The Lion King in 2019 opened to $191 million just domestically, and Beauty and the Beast in 2017 opened to $174 million just domestically. It's closer. If we're going to talk about a main character, it's closest to Maleficent, which opened to like 169 million, but that was back in 2014, so even that's more than that now. But Little Mermaid in 2023 with Halle Bailey opened to $95 million domestically, and that wasn't, of course, considered a financial bomb at the box office.
Well, it made it to, like...
I don't think it made profit. I don't think $500 million was... It made it to, like,
somewhat over the line to make it profitable, but, like, just barely?
I don't think so. Like, I don't believe that.
No?
I don't believe that with the budget that movie had. You don't make an underwater movie for... No, I don't believe that. So... Look,
that's why they had to hire a nobody to play her.
Look, Mufasa. Like, to be fair to Mufasa's like the little engine that could. It just keeps trucking along. Little lion that could. It ended up surpassing Sonic, if I remember correctly, but it only opened to $35 million.
It's just crazy how, like, COVID really took our culture and just fucking smash it into a million
it's not
pieces.
just it's the consistent, like,
because
lack of interest.
But these are all pre-COVID, except Mufasa. Obviously, all of these things are pre-COVID.
Think about Beauty and the Beast opening to $174 million in 2017. That's before inflation. Like, that's a lot of money.
Not to mention the fact that, actors are just more annoying than they used to be. Since 2020.
Well, no, and the thing is what's crazy is they have to be now, because there was just these articles the other day where who was it that was talking about Ethan Hawke and Maya Hawke talking about how, like, people are getting rejected from roles in movies if they don't have over 1 million followers on social media. So what? So you not only do you want them to be like, first of all, social media for any celebrity is a loaded gun that's just waiting to ruin your movie at any moment. And not only that, you want it to be a loaded nuclear weapon that can go out to as many people as possible.
I came across the Instagram page of the girl that they chose to play the next Elle Woods in the Legally Blonde reboot. And Reese Witherspoon made this cute little promotional video with her. And I checked her Instagram and I was just relieved. I was like, oh my goodness, she seems like an actual normal person She has acting experience, yes, but nobody's ever heard of her.
Mm-hmm.
She has like 18,000 followers on Instagram, total nobody, and she is projecting nothing but positivity about getting this role. No, she doesn't feel the need to ruin it for everybody. Not that I want a reboot of Legally Blonde anyway.
They need to make a Tom Cruise boot camp that every single celebrity has to go through, where he beats into you. It's
not going to be a Tom Cruise boot camp that fixes this. I honestly am excited for when Gen Z takes over the PR industry. Like, when Gen Z is fully in the halls of power, making decisions about how celebrities and public figures manage a social media presence, I'm sure even social media itself will look different, like drastically different by that point. But they would not come up with curated responses like this.
Yeah,
Gen
that's
Z
the worst part.
PR, like if Gen Zers ran crisis PR firms, like from the very top, I know they work at them right now, but if they ran them, they would not script some stupid curated response for Rachel Zegler to parrot in an interview that comes off as completely disingenuous. They would not do that. They would probably tell Rachel Zegler, like, you know what? Either say nothing or turn on the camera and say something you actually mean. Those are your two options that actually would make a difference. You can either say nothing or say what you really think. Stop lying. Because people can sniff the fakeness. Like when something doesn't ring true, they can just tell.
I think fake is built into the business model. I don't think that companies that are investing hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into these industries are going to risk just be authentic. I think that
but you can also choose silence. That you have two options.
Then that's the option that Gen Z will be left with, because I don't think that I don't think that anybody who's investing that much money, and the people investing this money will not be the Gen Zers. The people investing this money.
Well, here's what I mean by that, though. I mean that if Rachel Zegler like actually took to her social media for something other than a Trump rant for once, and she, like, this is something I'm saying would resonate with me. If she said, like, you know what, we really got off on the wrong foot, to say the least. I said these things 3-4 years ago at this point that...
I don't think she thinks that, though. I don't think
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if she really, like you're saying, if she had a change of heart, we wouldn't know.
Yes.
She appears to be trying to convince us that she had a change of heart. But if she said, we got off on the wrong foot, I said some really crazy things about Snow White several years ago, and I'm pretty embarrassed about it. It kind of snowballed, and I didn't know what to do because it was embarrassing. And now, at this point, it's been such a long time since we filmed this movie. It's finally coming out. It feels like dream come true, and I just really wish that I could take those things back. I can't, but you should just go see it, because I do actually think it's a great movie.
Sketch
like if
therapy,
she just said that.
Sketch Therapy in the chat says, you talk like Disney doesn't let the actors run amok. Your logic ignores facts and events, Brett. In what specific instance are we talking about here? Because I'm for the most part agreeing with you. They
do. Well, we were making jokes about sending them to a media training boot camp, but she must have gotten some kind of guidance. It wasn't good enough.
No, she has a PR firm.
But what if she did
in a crisis
what
management
if she did
firm?
A video that was like that? Would you feel like that was something real for once?
I would
that's how I would feel.
I would have to watch it.
I mean, I'm planning on watching Snow White regardless, so it's nothing to me. Yeah. But I am excited to see it. For all of this to come to fruition.
The thing is, though, you're poisoned by the fact that there's money tied to it. So she could say that and mean every word of it, but it's still going to come off like you're doing it because the company told you to. So
well, look, she already got paid. So it's nothing to her.
That doesn't matter. The company can still the company can still mandate that she says it.
Sure.
The company can still absolutely mandate that they go out and make these statements. Do I believe that she wanted to make this statement? No, I don't think that she really did. I don't think she thinks about it.
People are just really passionate. She went into her pageant queen vibe, where they're like, what do you like? They ask them, like, what is your biggest dream for your life? And they say, like, I just want to World peace.
That was the days were better when the pageant answers were bad.
So she went into her pageant winner mode, and she was told to use that wording because Henry Cavill was on the homework, and it's not really working for her. But I appreciate that she's at least trying.
Well, here's the question that people are then going to ask you: do you want them to bend the knee, or do you want sincerity? Because you can't have both. In this case, you're not going to get a sincere answer from her because what she wants is to save the box office for this film. The pragmatic side of me says, good. She's doing the right thing for the good of the film. It's too little too late. But this is behavior that would probably be encouraged. But the real encouragement would be to make sure that they don't get themselves into this position to begin with.
Maybe some of these stars should be promised box office returns instead of a big paycheck up front.
I mean, that's how their agent has to work that into their contract. That's Scarlett Johansson talked about that with the release of Black Widow.
It would
stuff
help
like that.
It would whip them into shape.
Also, we're not talking politics here. We're specifically talking about somebody who came out and denigrated the source material that was based on, and then weirdly said later that she loved it after saying that she hated it.
Yeah,
Remember that?
The rant that she went on about Trump supporters was just adding insult to injury. Like, it was already over for her at that point, and she just thought, like, F it, I'm just going to write an essay on Instagram right now.
And then you go into, like, it's like the Alan Richson. Like, do I think that people aren't going to watch Reacher because Alan Richson doesn't like Donald Trump? I mean, it might hurt it a little bit, but the show was already doing fine.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Most people in this space love to be able to prove that they're unbiased, right? So it's like, it doesn't bother me if Alan Richardson is a raving liberal lunatic. That's fine. He's allowed to be that person, and I can like that show regardless. And most people that I've seen, there's two sides to this coin, which is some that say, don't give money to people who hate you. And that's their business model. And they use that as a rallying cry to get you to support them. Or the people who say, you know what? You can say what you want as long as the art is good. I don't care. And those are kind of two sides of the same coin. The third camp is the person. Now, what if Alan Richardson came out and was like, you know what? Reacher is a freaking loser, and I hate that guy.
What would Alan Richardson need to say for you personally to stop watching the show?
I mean, it wouldn't matter now. The show's good, so
you would just keep watching.
I would just keep watching it. Like if he had said it towards the beginning of it, I don't know.
You might have never given it a chance before, but now that it's
he could have denigrated Tom Cruise. He's been like, those Tom Cruise Reacher movies were horrible. I'd have been like, fuck you, man.
Well, I still plan on giving Snow White a fair chance, and I'm probably gonna hate it, but I'll at least hate it and have fun hating it.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.